Hi guys, this is Anders DVD and VHS Reviews here, and today I'm going to show you a book review of Monsters University, and here we go. When Mike Wazowski was 6 years old, he went on a field trip to Monsters Inc. He snuck inside a child's bedroom and saw a scare at work. The one amazing moment made Mike realize he wanted to be a scarer himself when he grew up. The years all passed, and finally Mike was old enough to attend to school of scaring at Monsters University. Mike arrived at campus filled with excitement. His childhood dream was about to start coming true. One of Mike's classmates was a huge monster named Sully. He belonged to the Roar Omega Roar fraternity. Sully and the RORs made fun of Mike. They thought he was too small and funny looking to be a scare. Mike was determined to study and the ace his final exam. Meanwhile, all Sully did was mess around. He thought that being big and having a loud roar were enough to make him the best scarer. During the final exam, Mike and Sully got into the roaring face-off. They accidentally broke Dean Hard Scramble's prize scream can. Hard Scramble continued giving Mike and Sully their exam. She decided that neither of the would be staying in the scaring program. Winning the annual scare games was Mike and Sully's one way of getting back into the scare program. To compete in the games, they had to join a fraternity that joined the least scare group on campus, Uzma Kappa. The members of OK were Don, Squishy, Art, and Terry. Mike wasn't happy about working with Sully, but he had no choice. The first Scare Games event was Toxicity Challenge. The teams had to get from one end of the sewer tunnel to the other while avoiding stinging glows urchins. The race started, Mike and Sully took off and left the rest of the OKs behind. The entire team ended up coming and last. Uzma Kappa was out. Then, suddenly, one of the winning teams was disqualified for cheating. The OKs were back in. The next day, the OKs showed Mike some of their talents, but Mike already had a plan. From now on, we are of one mind, and my mind, he said. Sully rolled his eyes. You told them what to do, but not me. Later, coach. me, he muttered. The second event, a vote of the parent, took place in the library. The teams had to capture the flag without getting caught by the librarian. Even thought Sully was no helping to the team at all. The OKs managed to take fourth place. Squishy had grabbed the grabs and made it out of the library without anyone noticing. Just as the OKs were starting to feeling confident, the RORs made fun of them. They told the OKs there never be real scares. Mike decided to take everyone to Monsters Inc. They sneaked up onto the roof and looked down. They saw scares came in all shapes and sizes. Everyone was inspired. Mike and Sully thought admitted that they had been behaving badly. They agreed that they needed to start working together. The following morning, Mike and Sully bounded out of bed. They waited to begin training for the next Scare Games event. They packed up their gear, met up with the others OKs, and headed off to campus. Mike worked on getting the team in tip-top shape. He taught them how to sneak into a bedroom, how to drop into the bed to the floor, and to dodge teenagers. In between drills, Mike got them to run on the spot and practice their scare feet. The Ooze Canvas training paid off. The Dawn scared the team event and moved to the next round. Mike helped them to practice for the hide and sneak event. The OKs were so very prepared. They came in second. They were heading to the finals. Later, Sully ran into Head's hard scramble. Tomorrow, each of you must prove that you are undeniable scared. And I know one of you is not, she said. Sully knew that she meant Mike. He didn't want to believe her. But he couldn't help but wonder if she was right. The RORs and the OKs were going head to head in the final Scare Games event. Each competitors had to perform and scare in a simulator. Mike was the last member of the OKs to perform. He scared. He entered the room, sneaked up to the bed, leaped up and roared. The robot child sat bolt upright and screamed. Mike's scare had given the OKs the highest score. They had won the Scare Games. Don, Squishy, Art, Terry, and Sully All surrounded by Mike, the lifted him on their shoulders. The entire amphitheater burst into cheers and applause. Worth in were in the scare program, Solis cried. But the moments didn't last long. Mike soon discovered that Sully had rigged the controls on the simulator. Mike's difficult level had been switched to easy. He couldn't believe it. Well, what was I supposed to do? Sully blurted out. Let the wall team failed because you don't have it. Mike was angry. He stormed off and stole a key to the Door Tech lab, where students tested doors to the human world. He put a scream can in place, powered up a door, and opened it. Alarms went off all over campus, sending Hard Scramble and her security guards racing to the lab. Mike found himself in the wardrobe of a child's room. He crept out towards the sleeping child and roared. The youngster sat up and smiled. You look funny, she said. Mike couldn't believe it. So suddenly he realized he wasn't in a child's bedroom. He turned to look and was that he wasn't in a cabin full of kids. Meanwhile, rushed to the lab. He slipped past security, ran through the door, and went off to rescue Mike. He found him beside a lake in the campgrounds. I thought I could show everybody that Mike Wazowski is something special, but I'm just not, said Mike. Sully told Mike he wasn't much different. He just messed things up his entire life. I'll never know how you feel, but you're not the alone failure here, he said. Mike and Sully returned to the cabin, but the door back to Monsters University had been powered down. They were trapped. A group of adults were now quickly approaching. If all really scared them, we could. From this side, said Mike. As the adults entered the cabin, Mike and Sully set up their back scare. Then on Mike's cue, Sully loomed over the adults and roared. The adults screamed and ran for their lives. Back in the Door Tech lab, the door screamed can filled to the brim. Hard Scramble watched the disbelief as the door exploded and Mike and Sully blasted into the room. They had performed an epic scare, but they still got expelled for breaking university rules. Mike and Sully wondered about their plans for the future. Then Mike and I had an idea. There's still one way we could work at the scare floor, he said. They both got jobs in the Monsters Inc. mailroom. Mike knew that if they worked hard enough, anything was possible. It was just at the beginning for Team Wazowski and Sullivan. The end. Okay guys, that's it. So, if you like my content, please click like and subscribe. Next is Inside Out. We'll see you next time. Bye.